you want to know who that pink test was brought to you by, well, give us a call. By the way, was that James Banks who said, it's showtime?
Yes.
It better be, because I think that's what we're looking for. I guess put on a show, perform, and prove you belong to the league, and get these keys to victory checked off.
Well, AP.Bren, poke the kite. Whether it's going to be Doming or Damon Kite, although I'm pretty sure this means Dom and Kite, make sure that you can reach him and make it difficult for him to pop off in team fights. Get those poke heroes that can safely just roll down the gold laner. Silence the kid, Aurora. Well, he's already a pretty silent kid, but make sure he cannot play the game that he wants to play if you really want to shut down AP.Bren. And of course, for these two, make sure you supplement your junglers well, because we know it's a domino effect. If you're supplementing your junglers, that means you're setting up the center of the map really well. And when you're setting up the center of the map really well, that means you're helping out your gold laners and they're very happy with you.
Yeah. I'm watching out for how they're able to match up with the speed and the kind of gameplay that the Kite Brothers have been showing us, because I know we mentioned earlier about how Renjay, Edward, these guys, and a bunch of others from Aurora have really stepped up. You mentioned something along the lines of calm, yet aggressive, that's still being there. And it's something I really want to see coming in from Shizu as well. He's the silent kid, yeah, but he can become a really huge threat, a silent killer, if you may, too. There's that particular kind of aura within him that I would want to see him bring into the MPL stage, because it's one of the things that really made a mark whenever we look at this lineup of AP.Bren, then Lazy Esports, or under whichever team he was part of before. It did come along with him being activated by the mid duos, whether it was Chomskirt, Kekedot, or even back then when it was still Ryujin, and Yoshinu, which is also in MPL right now, but it's a different task at hand right now for Shizu and James Banks. I really do hope that the showtime begins right now.
I'm hoping and praying that the whole silent kid thing isn't taken literally. Because going up against Aurora, a well-oiled machine, and again, we've had moments before where when we heard their comms, you're going to have to speak up. Shizu has to communicate with all of AP.Bren, not just James Banks, to be able to get through that early to mid ramp up, because if I know anything about Dominic, is he's been able to step up with the best of the best. With the god in the gold lane, Kelra, some would say he's a deadlock on his best days.
Yeah, it really seems like the philosophy of Aurora so far this season has been make sure we just get burst. Burst in the jungle, burst in the gold, because you know that Edward and Renjay are going to be holding down the front line. You know you is always going to be really tough to catch for any team going up against Aurora. So when you have all of those pieces set up, literally the jungle of the gold laner just needs to show up, press buttons, win.
And can they do that? And what kind of resistance will AP.Bren bring to the table? Folks, just to paint a picture of how dire this is for AP.Bren or how much the odds are stacked against them, they're going to have to pray and hope to play like they were in Malaysia. Because that's the one thing that Aurora can't do. They seem to struggle to play in Malaysia. So if somehow they can get into a psychological space to put Aurora in that time frame, in that atmosphere, then maybe we see this go the long way. Game one, the draft is upon us. Once more, it's AP.Bren versus Aurora, and if I'm not mistaken, it's AP.Bren choosing blue.
Yeah, I think there have been some changes, at least within a week, or just within a week of us not being able to see these teams perform. Back then, it was almost always the Selena either being in the bans or in the picks, and AP.Bren is one of those teams who decided to go with Selena for 2 games straight, the last time which they played. But now we can see that there has been a difference, that teams have been learning from all the previous games in which Selena has been participating in. So I am leaning towards the possibility that AP.Bren, in this match, they come in with a different mindset, with a different game plan.
Yeah, and hopefully that game plan means they're not picking up Selena. I think that's a good place to start. And maybe see a different roamer for Kekedot other than the high loss. And make sure that it's tough. They have so many things that they want to do or that they need to do up against Aurora, but hopefully they prioritize the matchup here for Der especially, because nothing good is going to go in the map if the EXP laner is going to get shut down hard. And Der needs a very favorable matchup against Edward. If it's possible for AP.Bren, pick up CC as one of the first 3 picks in their draft.
Would you go as far as saying blue 1 CC because Suyo and Joy are open?
Not blue 1 at all. Blue 2 to 3. Suyo and Joy definitely as one of your first picks here.
One or the other, James Banks.
Yep, James Banks. I don't know if I'm feeling that he's much more comfortable with the Suyo rather than the Joy, or at least basing it off from last week's series in which we've seen him play. So they will be deciding to pick up the Suyo instead of the Joy. Now, Aurora, on the other hand, the Harith Granger is still available too. They can decide to pick whichever they want.
You go Joy Granger? There's no way you go Joy Harris.
Yeah.
You're asking for it.
Yeah, it's just going to be one or the other. I'd want to see the Joy pick up third, and then...
Oh yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah.
But again, teams have done that. Teams don't care.
So, they're more okay with it now because they'd rather see other matchups. I think they should save the Renegade picks for later in the draft. So maybe pick up a flex Edward pick like a Gatot. Because you can also put that in the hands of Renegade. And then for the another power pick maybe. But they go Joy Granger instead. They just go for the pure... Well, this is what we were talking about earlier, Burst. Aurora wants Burst, so they got the 2 burstiest heroes in the jungle and in the gold.
The Kite Brothers are flying, man.
Yeah.
The Madam's still open too, since you've mentioned something along the lines of flex. But then AP.Bren for now will be getting the Suyo Harith duo. I think that's those. Look at how we're seeing the jungler gold duos immediately.
Yeah.
Do you go CC here?
Yeah, I'd want to see them pick up the CC, but I think they have to watch out for Cho for Renegade, and AP.Bren might be considering actually taking that away already, because Kakadot has shown to be proficient with the Cho in the past.
Yeah, and I don't like the CC into the Granger or the Joy together, not like this.
Oh, so it's the Badang instead.
Which we don't know for sure where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, it is a flex, but most Badang so far have been EXP.
So they're putting this much on there right now.
Yeah, which is so... kind of weird for me. Because
That
the season's
is-
still there.
That is the MPL Season 4 Grand Finals MVP.
True.
And one of the more veteran players of AP.Bren. Again, he's been here since season 6, season 7. So a veteran in many ways. I think they're just saying, yeah, just give it to me, man. Just give it to me.
Oh, there you go.
RORA closing up their first phase with a Cho. All right, the Hitman's cooking.
Yeah. 70% win rate for Cho for this season so far, by the way. Cho's been flying as well.
75.
And that's with, just 70%. And that's with different roles. It's been Roam and it's been EXP.
Yeah. So now we are yet to see the mid lane choices for both of these teams, but there has been a lot of attention put into, for Aurora at least, some of the options for Chalk Skirt. So now they take out. What else could be interrupting and denying this lineup so far for Aurora? Something that. I mean, they have the Badang, but like,
Kakadot might just have to play the high loss again, which I would not be a fan of here. But in terms of like the safest pick possible, I think they would just think about that. But then that makes the mid lane pick all the more important. You're not going to play an Eve anymore if you're Charles Skirt. So you might end up with something along the lines of like Xana if it's available for him. Or if it,
For Sa, if you want to outrange the Granger, hit him at least.
the Farsa too.
You know?
yep. Although you will be playing that into the Cho and the Joy.
Yeah. And if you're a high loss, you can only poke like one dude.
Where are the Vixanas of the world these days? What happened?
Where the Auroras of the world.
Yeah.
Aurora, again, she's such a specific utility pick
Yes.
that naturally the world just, pushed her out. But
Oh.
Vixana, though, Vixana was one of Aurora's favorites.
Yeah, and even for like Few, for instance, he was one of the players to really use the Vixana every single time or as much as possible back in SPS, but entering
Thanks, man.
MPL, right?
Yeah.
He's been using different heroes, even the Veil earlier.
I just realized AP.Bren can actually lean into a Sicilian pick if they want to, but then they need a really big control roam here.
Like a big wall is the
Yeah.
it's a hunk of meat.
Oh, they banned out the Valentina though.
You know what? I would not be so remiss for a Ruby pickup for AP.Bren. You can go for a Ruby roam, but then their mid laner, Sicilian, yeah, but then that's when you think about the Farsa already for AP.Bren, even though they're playing it into a joy and a choke.
So just to have a little bit more ways to stop, like an additional stopper. There's the Bada
Yeah.
already though, but the Ruby would help a lot. I mean, buying some time and letting just Shizu do his thing later on. But will they really opt to go for that kind of roamer though? I mean, it works well against the Cho too, so
Yeah. Aurora might consider Edith and Vexana, I think, as their last two picks.
Edith's still one of Edward's best picks in the game.
Oh.
Aurora with the steal. There's the Farsa. Now what you gonna do? AP.Bren are outranged.
Yeah. The Ruby reminds me of the Kufra too, like in theory, the bouncing ball and how it's able
Oh,
to
yeah.
stop all that.
No, but
But
Kufra. Why not Kufra, right?
yeah, so
Against the Cho, the Joy, the Farsa. I wouldn't mind a Kufra for AP.Bren.
Even the Granger, if you can catch him,
Yeah.
he's stuck.
yeah,
So if they're thinking of roamers, Kufra would be great. And then Vexana, just paired up with the Vexana.
I mean that's a lot of ways to. Oh, okay.
Okay, they go for the Jawhead Suyo combo, but
Which, by the way, is fun and good, but
I will find a way,
It's
even when all is
so it's a Vexana.
we were looking for the Vex.
yeah.
Okay.
He did.
Paint me skeptical. I just don't know how to read AP.Bren's draft right now, especially in the order that it got revealed to us.
I think like they can make a lot of things happen, even with just the Vexana Jawhead, the Vexana Badang, or either of these heroes combined. But oh,
Yeah, they go for the solid wall instead. I mean, Edith could have been that.
Excuse me, is that a flex?
It's an EXP high boss.
EX.
Yeah,
they did.
they're giving the rope choke because they're just holding, they're just anchoring one lane, and then they're just gonna be aggro to go to the gold lane. They're gonna pressure Shizo. One thing I'm gonna say about AP.Bren, you know what their lineup reminds me of? That is the lineup of an RG bully 5-man. It's like you and your friends getting together, just picking up heroes that would mess up anyone that you're gonna go up against. That's what you get. But it's it's not disconnected,
Yeah,
but
not.
it's like a one for all type of deal. Like every one of them can shine, but how they meld that together into like a working 5-man lineup
Yeah.
is the biggest question.
Especially that last big jawhead. That was one of those.
Yeah.
I've done this several times, folks. We're in. Can we bully them? Yeah, let's just end quickly. Pick the jawhead. So it comes down to this. One more look at the draft and their index. And yeah, again, numbers wise, AP.Bren are ticking off the right boxes. But in execution, can they get one over Aurora? End that streak. Game one is upon us. Let's get into the land of Dawn. Once more, the closer for day one, week two. It's AP.Bren versus Aurora Gaming.
Yeah, I wonder what the idea for AP.Bren is. Even prior to heading into this match, is it like trying to also go in for the team fights up against Aurora, or trying to focus on being a team fight centric kind of team, or more on the objective kind of focus? Because for Aurora, at least, that seems like they're the objective type of team so far, especially when they went up against Onic.
Yeah, so far James Banks will be able to get the first litho of the game. Demon Kite started purple, going for a topside rotation in terms of the emblems. Nothing too fancy, although triple ruptures on the side of Aurora. So
Penetrasi.
yeah, they get the penetrasi, and that means that they balance out the potential snowball, end the game fast mentality of AP.Bren with their jawhead roam, with their own surprise sources of early burst with penetration.
Which again I think is more reliable. Oh dear Lord! Talk about proving me wrong right at the second. The hitman just got hit.
Yeah, he finds himself against the Jawhead Suyo combo, which you mentioned, and on top of that, it's the Vexana there too. So like, it's so hard to fight back against
Yeah.
these three. If they focus on this three-man rotation consistently, they might be able to just pressure and keep taking control of the map.
Yeah, you get really introspective against a lineup like that. If you do definitely find yourself.
All right. Turtle spawned, upper quarter. First of the scene is AP.Bren. It looks like Aurora are just letting it happen. Look,
Yep.
they're just checking.
Those are a lot of well-timed deadly grabs coming in from Chov's Kurt. And the Aurora don't get to contest. Oh, wait.
Whoa.
Oh! Down bottom bombing kite nearly falls up against Shizu.
The Silent Kid clapping back. Aurora. Oh, Renji again!
Oh, for the second time in a row, they find a kill onto Renegade.
An uncharacteristic approach to the post-turtle take.
Yeah.
Aurora have nothing on the board. They're playing like a team I've never met.
Yeah, right now it's just Demon Cat farming around the map. Aurora might be waiting for their timers, but look again, the aggression, the three-man rotation of the Jawhead, Suyo, and the Vexana together. They're just being aggressive, setting the tempo, and I think Aurora might have actually sort of folded in the early game just somewhat. They're acknowledging the fact that AP.Bren can snowball and run away with this if they're not careful. So now they're just like, all right, I think we're just going to wait for our timers. We'll try to get some things, but Aurora might just be looking at 6-8 minutes into the game before they really start fighting back.
Yeah, the three-man rotations were already interesting enough, but even when it came to the gold lane, Shizu was able to take or get an advantage against Dominkite. So it was a very unusual turn of events for Aurora.
So across the map, you can say it's all AP.Bren. Up by
Sure.
1,000 gold, 3.5 minutes in. One more go, the second turtle, all right? This is going to be the tell whether Aurora is willing to go toe-to-toe, forget the first 2 minutes, or if it definitely is just them hunkering down saying, yeah, we definitely dropped the ball.
Yeah.
After clearing out this mid lane minion wave, I'd want to see Chove's Kurt actually go closer to where Kenkadot is right now. But they've sort of adjusted. They're sticking the mid laner and the EXP laner together. It's the Badang and the Vexana. That's a deadly duo. We saw TNC Pro Team shine with that against AP.Bren. So they might be taking a page out of TNC Pro Team's book.
Yeah, and whoever decides to pass through this area has to be extra careful, and it's going to be Edward receiving the ejector and the deathly grasp. There is there to try and zone away the damage dealers, but that's a successful way of the dragon, but it might just be a punish. Renegade gets taken out,
Whoa.
and so will Edward. Demon Kai trying to overtime, and he looks and gets James Patson there. Dominkite is here as well to join the party, and it's a double kill for him.
Alas, the prestige. The magicians of Aurora reveal their grand plan. A trade of Edward for 4, and suddenly the Northern Lights take flight.
There is the clapback around the joy. Didn't take 6 to 8 minutes and only just took the second turtle. And I will have to correct myself. AP.Bren drafted the exact same lineup that they went up against. This is TNC's lineup in their game 1 against AP.Bren.
Oh.
When Aurora are actually running a lineup similar to the one that they played in that game 1 against TNC Pro Team. So literally they took a page from TNC Pro Team's book, but then this time they didn't get what, in that scenario, TNC Pro Team was getting knockups and crowd control onto Demon Kite. They weren't able to to disrupt Demon Kite's rotation as well. So come the second turtle, Aurora was more encouraged to actually be aggressive, fight it out, and that's exactly what they did.
Let me take that beat and just switch it up a little. Release the same song. Now suddenly Aurora's up 2,000 gold, and across the map, the last raider ruining things. Dominkite gets sandwiched by 2.
But there's a trade for Demon Kite up top. He will take a turret, but that is very unfortunate for Aurora. So we still see, in some ways, how AP.Bren can really work around with their hero synergies. They can make a lot of things happen regardless of who they decide to pair up all across the map.
Yeah, if Aurora wants lineups with burst, well, AP.Bren also has a lineup with hella burst. Except this time around, AP.Bren aren't able to stop the jungler of Aurora. And they're going to need to start timing their ejector tosses, fist breaks into fist cracks, plus the Eternal Guard of the Vexana. Because if you time those very well, you really conserve it, you mess up any joy entry that wants to happen.
All right, of those 3, I think it's down to Dare. Dare has the best way to stop Demon Kite on this rampage. Choveskirt has to put himself in danger, Keket has to go through all the meat that Renegade and Edward can present. So if it's really just a takedown Domenkite, we gotta watch out for Dare. And currently, Dare has been, the fights have been walking up to him. He hasn't been looking for them himself.
Yeah, and we saw a glimpse of that when he was able to create an opening for AP.Bren, nearly punishing and winning the first team fight, which we saw happen. But Renegade gets to find James Pats, but still James Pats with the retribution secures the turtle. There will be the first to fall instead. Keketot and Chizu as well. 3 members are down for AP.Bren. No, make that 4.
A better trade than they found in the last turtle. It's 4 for none. Sure, take the major objective. We'll run through the map. Aurora now up by almost 3,000. And they'll take permanent objectives on the map. The bully James Banks.
Oh, Edward just stood up in front of it and brought out the A. It's obvious now what the problem is for AP.Bren again. Hey, it's Demon Kite. It's the joy. It's the late entry.
He's literally a wall at this point, just standing in front of the faces of AP.Bren, and in just a blink of an eye, they've already taken down all Tier 1 turrets away from AP.Bren, even slowly starting to work their way to the Tier 2s.
My God, Demon Kite's about to build the Holy Crystal already.
Oh no.
At all, he just got it.
At under 8 minutes, there it is. Ye of little faith, me included. Aurora was just biding their time for the perfect moment, setting up for Demon Kite. One half of the Kite brothers. Hell, Domenkite's having a good match himself.
Yeah, all of the kills we saw on Renegade were just like them accepting the fact that the early probably wasn't as precise as they could have gotten it to be, but it didn't mean that they let go of the game entirely.
That's what I love about Renegade amongst 3 million other things. The hitman can take a hit. He knows when it's the right play to make, and he's ran this through the team. He's ran it through their manager. He's ran it through their 2 coaches, their life coach, even Boss Rada. Hey, boss, I'm gonna take the hits the first two times, and then we're gonna give it to DK. Then we're gonna give it over to the other DK. Well, 3 times actually. So far, that's what earned them this almost 5K gold lead.
Again, AP.Bren already, with this lineup, they have all the tools they can to counter-engage of Aurora. They really just need to hold on it a little bit better and focus, change their mindset to, guys, number 1, can we conserve to take down Demon Kite? Number 2, get out of the feathered airstrike of the Farsa.
Yep. And now they have to find a way to position themselves, even despite Aurora already almost taking control of the entire area. I mean, look at where Renegade is.
That's right. They can rotate almost with impunity. Just 2 turrets left for AP.Bren out of their base. Tier 2 bottom, Tier 2 mid. And so far, I said this before, I'll say it again. This is a really bad situation for a Jawhead when you're on the defense.
Yeah. All potential early snowball gone already. Well, top and bottom minion waves also not favorable for AP.Bren. No one's managing it. They're just standing around. They need to be sending more bodies, showing themselves, clearing out those minion waves to somehow get more information out of Aurora.
They find Dare. Dare's the only man so far trying to get some information. So is Kekedot though, but he's trying to reserve his skills a little bit more. His abilities, which are very crucial. We've seen him use the ejector to throw away an unwanted target. But at least he has a flicker to go near, and that's exactly what I mentioned. He goes in and picks off Renegade.
But I don't know if it's worth it. That is a pickoff on a roamer. They trade out for 1. Glorious battle is set down by Edward.
And the roamer on the other side will be the trade too. Dare trying to buy some time. He gets to throw away the members of Aurora. But that doesn't stop them from picking off 2 members.
Not just 2 kills, even 2 flickers away from AP.Bren.
And they have to concede this with no frontliners. They back off, and Aurora gets the first lord of the game.
Another one. Renegade says, do it. I can take it.
It's fine. It's all part of the plan. It's the clapback, it's the counter, and the MPL veterancy right now of Aurora just shining over AP.Bren.
Now they might have to say goodbye to their Tier 2 turrets. Aurora will definitely work their way. There goes the feathered airstrike.
Yikes.
Edward and Renegade, enforcers, bodyguards pushing away any sort of resistance from Aurora. They will take down Tier 2, so there's just 1 left in mid.
Yeah, I know you mentioned something about getting out of the feathered airstrike first, but what if it's so well positioned and that it isn't necessarily there to engage in a fight. They're just getting what they want to get away. And look at that damage! Kite!
That's why we call him the next standard. Well, one of the reasons.
Oh my goodness. How does AP.Bren defend this? They still have the holy shields in their mid and bottom lane turrets, but the Hitman's about to look for a target. They get to zone away there. And James Banks as well, slowly gaining access towards the base. But these are 5 members that they will potentially go up against, so they decide to stay disciplined and disengage.
2 big demolition projects for Aurora. Top and the mid inhibitors have fallen. 8k gold up 12 minutes in. AP.Bren are in shambles. Where does the comeback come from? They can't even hide in their own base. There's no bushes there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to just show up. Kekadot has to take the Renegade mentality of, alright, I can take it, but actually just try to take it.
Oh, glorious pathway to the way of the dragon, and there's a counter and set James Banks actually takes out Kite and Yue, but Kite unstoppable gets shut down by James Banks, the man with a million moves.
My goodness, there! Coming up big with the flicker, fist break into the fist cracked, and this game is cracked open for AP.Bren.
It's like he was born again. The man without fear, the daredevil, buys back possibly the game for AP.Bren.
They might just be able to take down all the mid lane turrets. Kite has 6 seconds to respond. Yue will be there too, but in just a blink of an eye, they got to actually almost equalize the map.
The man with no fear helped set it up for the man with a million moves to clear it up.
Let's see that again, all right? It could have been an end angle. They come in almost perfect everything. Even set it up with a kick and then look at there. Oh!
That's what we're talking about. The Badang Vixana combo. Chove Skirt was looking at it, and exactly, Kekadot was like, I can take this. I will try to take this. And Dare said, let me make sure that your sacrifice doesn't go in vain. My God!
I don't think Yue and Kite will stick together after that
Oh, yeah, for sure.
anymore.
Not like that, not in the same way. So suddenly, AP.Bren pulling out one from behind, from under the sleeve, from in your ear. A trick that nobody expected. They shrank that goalie down to 1,000, and I'll be damned. Maybe this is a contestable lord.
Yeah, they had Aurora looking over here when they should have been looking over there.
When Dare has the flicker, I think you need to play it extra safe. But speaking of, they spot out Dare and take him out first.
Oh, dear God. Back.
But Shizu from behind. This seems like no silent kid. He's dancing around the members of Aurora.
What?
Kite.
No!
Hey, Edward goes next. That's 2 for 1.
What is happening? AP.Bren. Damn.
Shizu should have been squished, but he survived that sandwich.
He danced and he was making Aurora dance to his tune. Now AP.Bren gets the second Lord of the game.
Like a kid.
Unless-
Renegade with a sacrifice, but Kite was a bit too late.
Like a hid hopped up on Nesquik. He couldn't be stopped. He was just dashing over and over again. And it's all falling apart for Aurora. What's going on?
I can't believe we're starting the week like this. Oh my goodness, now the Lord is in AP.Bren's hands.
I mean, I'm getting what I asked for AP.Bren to show why they were so hyped up heading into the MPL. Aurora, they're one of the top 2 teams after week 1, and now Aurora are in the red, but AP.Bren barely have any minion waves in the sides. It's only the mid.
This is an enhanced lord coming in.
Oh, Kekadot misses the flicker ejector play, but Edward, can he sustain all this?
That's bad.
The damage being soaked up by Edward, but he sustained everything, and Aurora now goes for the counter play. Oh, the quick interruption, fist break from Dare, but the Death Sonatas are reaching him, but he's still too fast. They can't chase after him. Oh no, Dare, will he be caught by the Hitman?
All right, the Hitman lets off. You survive for now. Suddenly Aurora are back in it, despite that mid-lane siege. AP.Bren couldn't finish the job. Aurora back on the offense.
AP.Bren should not have forced that. Kekedot missed his flicker ejector. He was trying to reach Domicat, but that was way too risky.
Oh no, now there goes the feather dash back once more. Renegade forcing James Pants to move away. That's the glorious pathway already expended by Aurora too.
Kabun Jingjing a little too feisty. There was no one to catch there. Reminds me of that very first glorious pathway he's cast this game. Alright, so far I think the key for both teams is to collect yourselves, regroup, because the past, 2 or 3 minutes have been high-octane, intense, back-to-back rolls.
Not gonna lie, at this point I was already expecting to do the post-game analysis. I'm glad we're not at that point, that we're just seeing action. Again, Kekedot tried to go after Dominkite. The moment he missed that, that was already worst-case scenario for AP.Bren. Well, to be fair, worst-case scenario was them getting wiped out and losing the game. That didn't happen, but that's where you see the lack of MPL experience, I guess, because they had nothing in the side lanes. They really thought that they could force and end it with just that push alone. Yes, they were able to actually bring the base down to like 60% health, but again, that's a way too risky. Think about your side lanes first.
Yep. And James Pants just swapped items too. He had a Winter Crown earlier, but now he's on the Queen's Wings. So it's just oh, there you go. He picks it up again.
He can start juggling.
He's
juggling
starting
items now,
juggling now.
Just keeps up the economy and then just buys what's necessary.
Yeah.
So far, that's what AP.Bren are doing, Ranmar. I think they're listening to you. They're trying to get some side lane push in, so it's not just all about the all-in. But I get it. From where AP.Bren is standing, that's the first time in 15 minutes that they were actually on the offense.
Yeah.
So they needed to really just get it in there, because, again, Kekedot needs to be in the driver's seat. He needs to set up.
Yeah, I mean, we're approaching 18. We're nearing the 20-minute mark, so the death timers aren't going to be that short anymore. They're
That's
actually going to be very, very long.
That's
so
a Mega Lordmon right now.
yeah.
I wonder who's going to be the first to check that shrub around the mid. If AP.Bren can find Yue, that's best case scenario.
Oh, concealed by Kekedot, setting up the ejector on Edward.
Okay, they decide to go for Edward, but he is gonna be tanky. That's the glorious pathway too, slowing down some of the members of AP.Bren.
Yeah.
So resources here and there being burned.
An episode of hesitation from both.
Oh! But this doesn't feel like any sort of hesitation from Kekedot. Edward this time around doesn't have the glorious pathway, but there's a counter setup from Renegade. They pick off Dare in exchange of Edward. 2 XP laners once again.
But the minion waves, Demon Guys clearing in the mid. That was a great bait play by AP.Bren. They baited out the glorious pathway and feathered airstrike. Then they repositioned. Then Kekedot went forward. He didn't use the unstoppable force in the last scenario. He just used the conceal, showed himself, used the ejector, and nothing else. That's why AP.Bren find themselves in this situation.
Hey, Demon Kite, he isn't here yet. But that's a successful zone from Aurora, unless...
They're still holding on this Lord. The motive is held. They pop the immortality of Kekedot.
Okay, Shizu now. This is his time to shine. But is this too much to dance in the front of 2 members? He had to outplay everyone. James Beck secures the objective as well, and Renegade is just running for his life.
Run, Renegade, run! The silent kid has become a silent killer.
And in the mid lane is the man with a million moves with him as well.
So we were talking about the Jungle Go duos, and it seems like this time around they want to be the ones to shine. Edward alone successfully takes down the minion guard, but we have another wave incoming, and James Pax together with Shizu, they take game number 1.
AP.Bren's first game win in the big leagues. Welcome to MPL Game 1.
And that was an emphatic win at that. Losing majority of the game, turning it around. The silent kid popping off into key moments. There, saving it in that siege where we thought Aurora would end it. The man with a million moves with a crazy KDA and Kekedot popping off alongside Chove Skirt. This is why this team was hyped up.
All right, let's not forget that we would not even be here if it were not for that $1,000,000 fist break combo by the Daredevil Dare. The man without fear. Because the game would have ended right then and there.
Yes, but it didn't, and it just kept going back and forth between these 2 teams. But it seems like every single decision made was something that the other always took advantage of.
Wow. Just wow.
Wow.
Oh, I am speechless. Man with a million moves. That's the MVP of the game. I believe he only had one or two deaths in this one. His final KD 7-1-7. My God.
Last name Panks, first name James. It was a normal Suyo game until he was just checking all the boxes. Again, for them to have come back this game, it was a grocery list of things to do. And he checked out, I'd say, 95% of that.
Oh my goodness.
I get it now why he said it's showtime.
Yeah, it's showtime. Showtime, James Banks. And he really showed up when they needed him to. It's not the highlight man with a million moves gameplay that we're used to seeing him pull off in the MPL, but it was like the James Banks, can you please show up when we need you to? And he just said, okay, I will. A lot of people are going to look into the performance of Shizo, Dare, maybe even Chovskirt here, because he got to come in the clutch with some key Eternal Guards and Deathly Grasp Terrifies as well. But this was the main turnaround.
Yep.
Once they baited that out, it really looked like AP.Bren were ready for that play to get called. Kekadot was showing himself first. Dare didn't respond right away. He looked for the follow-up, and Chovskirt was also just there waiting. It's like, all right, waiting for the Badang set. Okay, there it is. And James Banks helped clean it up, and it just became rinse and repeat. This is the start of Shizo just showing why he's hyped up in the gold lane as well. And he got two of those kind of plays.
Yeah, I think so long as they are aware that Renegade isn't there, or if not, his ultimate isn't available, even just for Edward, that he has no reason to be afraid anymore of Aurora. And this is exactly what we've been seeing. This sequence of them taking trades 1-for-1, but in terms of like the longer team fights, the longer sustained damage output coming in from Shizo, once he gets to close in on his opponents, it's almost as if it's over.
Kudos to AP.Bren here. Starting strong, holding out, turning it around, and getting the dub. I guess it's time for us to pay the piper and get down to brass tacks. A lot of disconnects from Aurora.
Yeah, eventually. I think it's they started to feel what they. Yeah, honestly, at this point, that's all I can do. Was like they just started to feel what they should have felt in the early game, but AP.Bren couldn't pull it off, right? He couldn't get it, and so then Aurora was just like. Eventually, they were surprised. Like, wait, I thought we were past this point of Kekadot, Chovskirt, and Shizo being a worry for us. What's happening here? And then once they started to feel what should have been the early game for AP.Bren in the late game where they have hella items and even crazier amounts of burst, they were just left,
Like, 2 minutes ago, you couldn't even get out of your own base.
Yeah.
Why am I stuck in mine?
Yeah.
It just felt like they always were trying to make ways to show us why their lineup works so well, the synergies that are within their lineup, and a lot of it were led by either James Banks or Kekada, really. Like, if it weren't the ejector plays, it was really the way they are able to cut off Aurora from trying to take advantage of the unsuccessful burst downs or pickoffs from AP.Bren because of their.
Yeah, and speaking of the cutoffs, again, the very final play where we saw AP.Bren win that Lord fight, it was Chovskirt who, yes, he was kicked by Renegade. James Banks decided, I'm going to leave you there because I'm just going to cover the other entry. James Banks went elsewhere, but the moment he was out of the crowd control lock animation, he dropped down on an Eternal Guard and Cursed Blast that actually blasted down Doming Kite, and if I'm not mistaken, Demon Kite as well. There was two members of Aurora that Chovskirt got the catch before eventually after he got stun locked. So Chovskirt again coming in the clutch in that one.
Yeah, this feels like a way more comfortable game for Chovskirt compared to where we saw him last week. It seems like they're able to work together that more. I think a lot more. I think that's what's important right now from AP.Bren. They are able to build a lineup which allows them to work together. Unlike last time, which felt a little bit more individualistic in terms of approach of doing certain things by yourself without entirely relying or waiting for your other teammates.
Something tells me you just gotta push AP.Bren to the limit. Like, you just make him feel like you're about to lose. Do or die, get something done right now, or else we're going to game 2. And that's what happened, right?
And their coach is the guy who's done that for a majority of his career. It's Coach Macbeth. It's the mentality of again, all the mega timers, the old version of execration. It's like he's just taken over like what worked for him in the past with the new younger squad.
One hell of a lesson to share on over to the next generation. Play like the old execration squad. Play as if it was your last game and then turn it around and prove the haters wrong. What a game 1 for AP.Bren. It's not over just yet. It's match point for them, but Aurora can still turn it around. Before we get on with the rest of the match, let's go on over to an All Access.
To MPL Playgrounds. At makikita nyo dito ngayon ang lahat ng booths na pwede nyo puntahan. Hans, ano bang meron tayo dito?
You know what? I'm curious as well. Tara, silipin natin.
Let's go!
Alright, so we have here one of the games na naglalaro na pala actually. 3-0 na nga yung score eh. So, these are some of the kits na pwede nyong malaro dito. Teka lang, wala, inisahan
Sorry,
ako eh. But
excited
yes,
ako eh.
kung sisilipin nyo, right? If you're gonna come a little bit closer, you're gonna take a look at some of the games. Ito yung isa sa mga classics na madalas nilalaro natin sa cellphone, but you actually get to experience it here,
Okay.
right?
Naku, Hans.
Ito na pala ako na pala ulit. Okay, sige. Pero easy mode lang to.
Easy kasi to.
Easy mode lang to.
So,
Diba?
pwede kayong mamili kung normal or
Diba?
hard.
Okay
Easy
na
pa
yun.
lang, talo na agad ako ni Hans.
At least nakapoint ako. We also have another one. This one is a classic foosball table na madalas yung mapapansin. I'm looking at where the actual ball is. Sinisilip ko lang kung nasan siya. But you know what? Maraming salamat, Kuya Alexis. Si Kuya Alexis pala isa sa mga time zone representatives natin. So you go that side, Odin. You go that side.
Paano din ba to? Hindi rin ako marunong
siyang-
nito, Hans.
Yeah, para siyang football technically. Tapos ang i-press mo lang, lahat ng mga nandun. Yan. So sisipain mo yan.
Okay.
You know what? Kayo nang bahala kung paano nyo lalaroin to.
Sa lahat
Okay,
ng marunong
kaya nyo
mag-football,
na.
kaya nyo na yan.
Kaya nyo na. Pero hindi lang yun. Kasi di ba parang Odin meron pang...
Meron
ganap
pa.
doon?
Dahil nga nandito tayo sa time zone sa
Correct.
MPL Playground, hindi mawawala. Isa sa mga paborito ko.
Okay, ano ba ang isa sa mga favorites mo? If we're gonna take a
So,
look at it right now.
Makikita nyo dito ang ating photo booth. Pwede kayo mag-take ng photos dito and have your photos printed bago kayo umalis.
Fun starts here. Of course, courtesy of Time Zone.
Wow, nakaka-fresh pala.
Ganun pala yun.
Ang
Ganun
time
pala.
zone photo booth.
Tapos pwede nyo siyang i-share direkta na sa
Oh!
social media applications nyo. So, in case na hindi nyo siya makuha dito, okay lang din naman kasi meron kayong sarili nyo. And of course, last but not the least, yung isa sa mga freebies na pinapakita nila. You know what? I'd like to at least call on one of our representatives, Sir Alexis. Hello po. Hello. Kwento mo naman sa amin, ano ba yung buy one, get one free na pay 350, get 700 na power load?
Magda-download lang po kayo, sir, ng fan app po namin sa Play Store po. Then, magre-register lang po kayo sa fan app po.
Yan. So, gusto ko lang tanungin, Kuya Alexis, lahat ba to for free?
Yes po, for free.
Wow! So lahat ng pwede nyo ma-experience dito sa MPL Playgrounds, especially here sa time zone, are for free. Hans?
There we have it. Maraming salamat, Boss Alexis and Odin. It seems like we have a lot of store in terms of this and in terms of the games as well.
Alright, balik na muna tayo sa loob ng Land of Dawn. Back to you guys.
Lex and I need to talk. I need to get in on that time zone promo. Welcome back. We are at match point once more. AP.Bren steals a game from underneath Aurora's nose after a 20-minute bout. Once more, my name is Leo at your service. We're with Brigida and Renmar Santa Cruz. What is going on with Aurora? Prior it was Onic. What's going on with Onic? But now, how does Aurora turn this around?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it even early on, where in the first few minutes didn't feel like Aurora were as coordinated with what they wanted to do. It did seem like it was part of the plan eventually when they were able to bounce back, but I think if they could avoid those early kills onto Renegade, then it could have been really better.
All right, more on Aurora's comeback, if possible, after this. Get together at the MPL Arena. Watch your favorite MPL pros live. Tickets are selling fast. They're running out. So what are you waiting for? There are still available tickets for Sunday and next week. That's right, week 2. tail end and week 3.
And did you know that if you buy 5 tickets, you'll get the opportunity to win exclusive prizes? Note that only one account needs to purchase those 5 tickets to qualify for all these prizes that we're mentioning.
Again, tomorrow we have TNC versus Omega featuring the Rome head-to-head between Yaoi and Jacknu. So, if you don't want to miss that, either watch online, watch on site, just get tickets, y'all.
I'm excited. Once more, that's a matchup happening tomorrow. Get your tickets now. Back to the action here in the arena. The major burning topic at hand. What does Aurora do now?
It felt like they were so comfortable in the lead and the system that they found themselves in that when they eventually faced the chaos of what AP.Bren could do, that's when everything started to crumble. It's like, wait, this isn't usually how things happen. Why is this Badang flickering forward like crazy? The Vexana actually stood in front of us and we didn't see the combo with the Badang coming up. It's like, let's bring it back to Season 7, Season 8. In the high points of the rivalry between Execration and Blacklist International, didn't we always used to say that the Execration style of like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, damn, that works, was like one of the biggest flaws to the very systematized type of movement and rotations that the Royal Duo brought in with Blacklist International in then Season 7. Again, calling back to the past of our league, it feels like I'm watching a younger, newer version of the old Execration squad.
How would you know what I'm about to do and I don't know what I'm about to do?
Exactly.
That seems to be AP.Bren's key to victory. How does Aurora get a beat on that? Well, number one is by taking control of the draft. They're in blue this time around. And Coach masters the basics and Coach Dexter take out the Loyi and the Eve, while Coach Pakbet and Coach CJ on the other side take out the Zushin.
3 mid-lane heroes out. Or they're the first 3 heroes that are banned out in this draft for game number 2. So we'll probably be seeing the Fanny still taken out here. Will they still open both junglers again this time around, both the Tsuyo and the Joy? Because if Aurora had a choice, would Demon Kite secure the Tsuyo instead of the Joy?
Depends on what the ban is.
So the Phovis is still there too. The Matilda is available as well. There are a lot of heroes still open actually.
There's the Joy. So if AP.Bren don't ban out the Suyo, then that's something they're willing to trade out for.
Yeah,
They better though.
that's why I really like the Joy ban here by Aurora. It makes AP.Bren think, okay, are you really going to ban the Matilda? Or are you going to ban out the Suyo, but then we can pick up the Matilda ourselves too? Do you really want to give that to Aurora? Because then the Alpha Matilda combo will be online for them.
Not to mention the whole Granger Harith trade.
That too.
Whichever you want the favorable end of that to be your choice. Alright, look at that. Coach Pakbet talking through all the possibilities.
If I'm AP.Bren, I think I could just take out the Matilda.
Uh-huh.
You play around the trades, around the Suyo, Harith, Granger.
Look at this full circle. This man used to draft against Bren and dropped them in the playoffs. Now he's wearing the very same colors. There's the Matilda, alright, so do you go blue, yo? Yes, you do.
Alright. This is Suyo. So the Joy there's no Joy. So the Granger Harith,
Whichever they like.
whichever they like,
Yeah.
can be picked up here. Possibly, do they want to consider the Cho as well?
Yeah, I think if I'm AP.Bren here, consider the Cho and just pick either the Suyo, the Harith or the Granger. Be willing to give up one of the other to Aurora. Don't take the Aurora route and just going for big ticket damage right away with the Granger Joy first 2 picks in the first game. So if it's Harith Granger, that's a little bit too greedy for my taste, at least.
What if they? No, they won't. Okay.
They probably will now. Yeah,
So-
because I just said the magic words. Don't do it. Of course they'll do it.
I
What
don't know
do
why
I
that
know?
always happens.
Just like, oh, okay, they didn't do it. Good for them. Yeah,
Okay.
see, yeah, exactly. That's the right call. You go got the catcher, you block a potential early Farsa pickup. Aurora can go CC here, actually, as one of the next picks. And then they can go Cho CC, or actually, what they consider Moss?
Granger.
Granger, yeah. Granger CC, Granger Cho.
Say I wanna reserve one for later, but it's likely going to get banned out if you're AP.Bren. So, it's a Phobius instead of a CC, right? There's a Harith. now they can take out, or unless AP.Bren wants to get the CC, but isn't it like, doesn't it show too much, or it doesn't really matter at this
Yeah,
point?
I think they don't need to rush the CC. They're going to be thinking about their mid laner or their jungler already. So you're off the board, they're going to have to go assassin, but you don't see your mid laner yet. So it's a tough call.
Here's the thing. If they don't pick a jungler here, AP.Bren might be putting into play one of their main strengths that's specifically unique to them. James Bank's unique hero pool.
Oh.
That's a Lucas. We don't know where that's going.
Hopefully that's not part of the unique hero pool of James Banks.
Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah.
We just saw the King Kong Lucas falter, and the beast was never the same. All right. So going into second phase, AP.Bren batting first. Do they lock down mid? Do they block off US picks? Farsa still at large.
Yeah, if I'm AP.Bren,
Valentina still at large. Oh dear lord.
they should ban out the Valentina and then consider picking up the Farsa for themselves.
Yep.
I reckon.
Yeah.
So it's sort of them also having range within their lineup, because the way it's looking right now, they might be a bit lacking in terms of that, and they get to pick first after this, right? So they might want to go with that, the Farsa, now that they take out the Valentina.
Yeah, because even if Aurora take out the Farsa here, AP.Bren can just go Aurora as one of your responses to the Phovius, and whatever the roamer might be here for Aurora. Right, I was wondering, it's like, why am I about to say Aurora again? I was referring to two different Auroras. And then at the same time, you don't need any more magic damage if you're AP.Bren. What you need is a little bit more crowd control.
Oh, take out the glue.
I wa-
though. So
I wasn't even thinking of
it's
that.
like part of Aurora thinking that there isn't an XP laner yet from the first 3 picks of AP.Bren.
What if AP.Bren surprise and they actually go full dive? What if they go Faramis? By the way, that's Brent, one of the most loyal members of the Hive.
It doesn't matter who's playing, as long as it's black and yellow, he's there.
Yeah, like I thought he shifted over to the Falcons nest,
Green
like
Falcons.
like a lot of the Hive members did, but Brent stayed loyal one that one.
Yeah. Still here. Okay, so they really kept banning out XP laners.
That's right.
So part of them is thinking that Lucas isn't XP, Gatot isn't XP.
They're closing up these gaps. Like, they're not sure. Nolan is still out there. Hayabusa's still out there. Hanzo's still out
Yeah.
there if you're looking for a more...
So pick your mid laner now and then pick the jungle pick for later, so you show what the Lucas actually is at the end of the draft,
You
not
don't
now.
have to. Yeah, you don't have to.
Pick your mid.
More traditional approach to this, unless the jig is up this soon.
What if AP.Bren's just gonna go Faramis?
It's Faramis or Farsa.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if
Yeah.
they Faramis now, Aurora might still find an answer in the 2 picks they have.
Yeah. Okay, so they go Vex.
They'll just play it safe here. Give Chove what he was playing with game 1.
Yeah, he was doing really well with that. And whoa, Vexana's undefeated so far this season.
Oh, I mean, the follow-ups from Cho's skirt earlier were just so perfect, regardless of which roamer Keketa decides to use here. We aren't entirely sure if it's gonna be a full-on
It's a Gatot.
initiator just yet, or is it gonna be the Gatot?
Keketa play with the Gatot. There's the high loss. Hitman special, especially from week 1. What does Yue rock?
Ooh.
Oh!
Shit.
This I actually like. The economy is on point for Aurora.
It's so well distributed, and we've seen a lot of aggressive Sicilian mid laners even in the early game too. So what does AP.Bren respond with?
And so far, nobody from AP.Bren can actually find Yue for free. Even Kekidot has to commit.
So if we're thinking of junglers, is it gonna be an assassin for James Banks?
Hayabusa.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Haya too, but
Or do you force the Hans?
what are we already? Oh, the Hanzo?
It's open.
Oh, Barrett's what? So it's a Lucas jungle and a Barrett's EXP, right?
Oh my god, let's double down on traumatic heroes from tonight.
Well, it's not in the same role. Oh wait, it is.
It doesn't matter, bring it up. They just switched it off. Yeah, they're both here.
And they're both in the same lineup now.
Why would they do this? What are they trying to bite down on? Why the -1? Why the committal? Why the full committal on this?
Hey,
Is it a good matchup against the Hylos?
I'm already thinking the Sicilian is the happiest out of everyone in this draft.
Sure.
Because it's just like, all right, cool, you get a Barrett's, but I'm going to just be here and hit you from a distance.
You know what Sicilian's worst enemy here in this matchup is?
What?
His mana.
Yeah.
yeah.
His mana, and if somehow Yue messes up the distancing, to be fair, you have to acknowledge that the lineup rating for AP.Bren, it does favor them. They're very beefy, very meaty, and of course, actually, one thing I learned, the Harith actually skews a lot of the
His numbers.
lineup stats.
Yeah.
with how good Harith is
He
actually
provides
is right
so much to a lineup, but just the same, the concept is there. The math checks out. Despite the Sicilian's dead zone right in front of him, we're foreseeing this to be a great and easy game for Yue and the rest of Aurora. Game number 2, match point for the new kids on the block in AP.Bren. One more. This game win and they take the series.
It's almost a full melee lineup for AP.Bren.
Yeah, full dive again. That's why we were thinking that they might even consider the Faramis, but at least they get a little bit more burst this time around, and burst that you can hit from a safe distance. Good control. And Kekadot actually is going to be the main point of this lineup alongside Dare, because they need to really time their entries and make sure that they can reach Dominkite or Yue later on.
All right, this might be a little safer, a little better for the Barats, because it is a flicker Barat. So he can position himself in
True.
a weird angle, and then as well come flicker, and then, get the confirmed -1. So it makes sense.
Kind of the same with the way they played the Jawhead and the Badang. So there are still multiple ways for them to engage. The same kind of follow-up coming in from Chov Skirt. It's just that James Panks this time might want to join a bit more when they try to start the fights instead of like coming in late or being the main source of damage. It's still the same for the others mostly. It's just that James Panks kind of switched it up a bit.
The last time we saw a Barrett's EXP lane, what happened there was the Barrett's just kept leaving the EXP lane as much as he could. That was Lord JM, and committing into rotations into the mid lane so that they can get an easy 4-man advantage, surprising their opponents. And so far, it looks like that's what they're planning right now. They actually want to give a little bit more farm to Dare through the mid lane alongside Jovskirt.
Double laning on an XP laner. That's definitely going to get him to level 4, trying to secure this first turtle spawning upper part of the map. Aurora first to the scene. Kekadot getting pushed back by Edward.
Yue has poked down the members of AP.Bren so well, but they still find their way towards Edward using the vengeance, and the Sentinel's welcome, but he gets burst down by the evil Queller. Now that's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Kekadot's really low, and Demon Kite secures the turtle, but they still want more. Renegade is going in, and Kekadot gets found by Yue.
Oh, the bottom Dominkite versus Shizo. Shizo's leaning hard into his early game advantage, especially underneath a Zaman force, and he's bullying the next standard right on the lane.
2 games that he did this now with this Harith against that Granger.
Oh, here comes Yue.
run.
Can he find him? Looking for the fight down. Doesn't find Shizo.
Alright, the Sanguine Claws didn't connect, but that was a close call for Shizu. Props to him for being mindful enough, though. He's been doing this again, you mentioned it, 2 games in a row. But it's still not to the point wherein he gets too careless of his positioning and unaware of the map.
Yeah, you see though, especially in the last sequence, how much Edward pulls attention away from Demon Kite. Because of him diving onto James Panks, it actually forced Dare to just look at where Edward was so that he can use his ultimate on the Phobius, which meant the turtle was free for Aurora to take.
So far, Aurora stepping on the gas, finds one, choke skirt, forced out underneath that glorious pathway, revitalized Kekadot, and a charged up Quella, taking down Chove.
Yue has been on point with those Sanguine Claws. Every single time prior an objective, it's either he catches 2 and then gets to bring them down to half HP or less than whatever damage he dealt. That already means a lot to Aurora, and now it was just so... Such perfect timing for
Yeah.
them.
I mean, we did say earlier that Yue would be the happiest guy in this lineup right
Whoa!
now.
Oh no, but they spot out Shizo. The flicker's already forced out, but Ready is
No!
right there to block his path. Kekedon trying to defend this turret as well, but that's 4 members of Aurora, and they might just get almost all of the energy shields from that tier 1 bottom.
The Hitman making like the wheelman, setting up the escape route for Aurora as they rotate to Turtle.
Another Sanguine Claws
Edward.
connecting onto there, and Kekedon is really low, uses the AOG to escape, but now Aurora, they're chasing.
Oh!
Demon Kite secures the turtle, and now they're looking for blood. Shizu uses the Zaman Force to escape, but gets caught by the Sanguine Claws. Misses the second skill from Edward. But still, that's dominance from Aurora.
He ain't there anymore. He's gone. Alongside James Banks, who has to constantly put himself in the way of harm. Because that's the nature of this hero. Until he has the items to tank up, he's going to keep going down. Like Shizo underneath his own tier 1.
Aurora now stepping on the pedal of aggression. Renegade on point with the rotations. You again!
Kekedon doesn't feel too tanky, forces out the Revitalize, and they get to punish Edward. Unleash the beast coming in from James Pack. But still, US survives, but not for long. There's Chop Skirt with the Cursed Blast, and that's a 2-for-1 trade, but they lost James Packs.
All right. Under regular circumstances, that would have been a very messy push for Aurora. But they're able to get away with so much given how much they have been taken down AP.Bren in the past minute. They're up by almost 4,000 gold, and lane per lane, I think they're all up, except for XP.
AP.Bren now feeling the wrath of a very aggressive and ticked off Aurora. Feels like that we're seeing. Yue, yes, of course, we've highlighted him already a fair amount. Again, the Sicilian is so happy here. And he's been on point with the Sanguine Claws and the Bat Impact. But another one I really want to highlight here is Edward has just been a menace. He's maximized, especially the last big team fight that we saw. He used 2 Dark Waves perfectly. A Dark Wave just standing there, and then another Dark Wave with a Flicker as well. It really just goes to show how much of a problem this Phoveus is. And with the Phoveus from afar is getting a lot of supplemental damage from the Granger, from the Sicilian. Then Edward, alongside the Sicilian, is the happiest guy in the lineup.
Yep, this feels like one of the most significant changes in terms of the draft coming in from Aurora compared to game number 1. This time around, Shizu actually has to think of someone. And Edward playing the Phoveus into the Harith is actually opening up so much more possibilities for Aurora in terms of engaging in team fights as compared to how they were forced to play it a little too cautiously in game number 1. So, yes.
This AI trend is getting out of hand.
That's AI?
Yes.
2 of these pictures are real.
Yeah, only 2 of them, right?
Moving on. About 40 seconds until the game resumes, and congratulations, you 2. Here's the thing. It's not too late just yet. Did he say yes, or is he... Did he or did he not?
I
I think the other guy's blushing.
I think he did. All right. Here's the thing. I don't think it's too late for AP.Bren. I think AP.Bren can still... Yeah, good for him, you did. Yeah, I think AP.Bren still has it. It's just... Maybe if Derek can pull it off. But he doesn't have the right hero.
Yeah.
AP.Bren...
It's more single.
It's more
target
single
now.
target.
Well, they're unpredictable like that, so I wouldn't like entirely
That's right.
count out the
what they're capable of, even they don't know.
exactly.
Possible, you're right, Brigida.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for everything to unfold, but as it's looking right now, still Aurora clearly in the lead, and unlike game number 1, they're much eager to convert objectives early on, so map control might be going into their hands a bit more early too.
Amazing lead, especially for gold lane. That's almost 2,000 gold between Dom and Kite and Shizo.
Oh.
And this time, Dom and Kite ain't playing half-seas, man. He's rocking an early Sky Piercer.
Uh-huh.
You can just go ahead and snowball out of that. And again, I'm just going to be repeating the same problem for AP.Bren. They can't reach Yue. They can't just send Kekedon to dive because, again, that puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the line. Now, Aurora will get all turtles in this game. And AP.Bren are just going to try to get resources elsewhere, try to get a push. Minion wave's not favorable up top, so they're looking towards the mid. They can commit one more heavy play to try.
Oh, there's the flicker. Daytona's welcome coming in from there, and the follow-up Avatar off the guard.
So tanky!
Cutting away or cutting off the members of AP.Bren. Might just be enough for Aurora to find the counter engage.
Dear Lord, they threw everything but the kitchen sink, and only Edward fell. Aurora telling AP.Bren, let's do it again.
It took them every committed on the side of AP.Bren just for that one guy. And again, we mentioned AP.Bren one more thing. Unfortunately, that one more thing didn't go so well for them. It was an EXP for jungler trade. Now they're at the point where their next engagements have to be a little bit more cautious. Looking at the items, he had to skip the Hunter Strike, the James Vance, or wait straight into the War Axe. Already on the way to the Sad Sword is Demon Kite. Sicilian only has the glowing wand, surprisingly enough. He's really maximizing the crowd control he has. And in terms of the gold later, only one item for Shizo, while already three for Dom and Kite.
Oh, that's the Daytona's welcome used to escape from there. And this is the way you like to see Aurora playing. Very focused on the objectives and rotating fast enough for the enemies to not keep up.
This is the way. Demon Kite stole the orange from James Banks, so James Banks is starving right now. It's not like the Lucas is doing great anyways, it's just all the more worse for AP.Bren.
Yeah, he's sitting on a 3-3-1 KDA. I think they've been more involved in the fights that have been happening across the map, but for majority of those fights, it's been Aurora winning them out. So I don't know if AP.Bren still wants to contest this. They tried to go for an engage earlier. That was the Daytona's welcome and the AOG follow-up. But once they commit everything in, it's so hard for them to escape.
For their own good, I don't think they should contest. And Aurora knows that. A blitz take here. Well, take it out, James Pan. Check in range. AOG!
Oh, they do not contest, but they still want to look for the kills. UF will be the first to fall, and the rest of the members of AP.Bren are trying to run away because Keck and Dot, as well as James Banks, are but they can handle it. They can deal enough damage, and they take out 3 members for 2.
James Banks, he bumped into the wall. That's why he couldn't complete the kill there onto Demon Kite. But Aurora still got the Lord, and they can march forward with 2. With how much they can get is the biggest question, as the members of AP.Bren will be a full 5-man in 3 seconds.
Again, none of us on desk ever said, hey, if James Banks can bite down on the 3 of them and kill him, that would be a comeback for AP.Bren. They did just that. Again, it rings true. How do I know what I'm going to... How do you know what I'm going to do if I don't know what I'm going to do? From out of nowhere, James Banks found those kills.
Yeah, and it was there probably with the call to still engage. Nonetheless, that was another Daytona's welcome to engage, and
the view again coming in the clutch up to the lantern for the Granger, already up to a Sea Halberd. Yeah, that's why Chosko got blasted, man.
What's next? That an endless battle?
Yeah, it looks like an endless battle with the ogre.
Disgusting. This is as good as a double poke lineup can get. You have the glorious pathway, you have the consistent body in Edward, and then here you go.
Oh no, Gekadot won't be able to cast the AOG. He already pressed it, but the damage was just too much from Aurora. They didn't let him go.
And this is one of the key signatures of Aurora, the Suyo Granger. Just play around strong burst in the gold in the jungle. Just make sure you supplement it well. In game number 1, if James Banks and Shizo were the highlight, now it's the Kite brothers. Continuing the storyline between the 2 jungle gold combos. But will Aurora slip just like they did in the previous game? Or will AP.Bren just concede and then eventually be forced into a game number 3?
It would be a shame if Aurora drops this lead here. It's a strong 5,000 gold as they start up the Lord. Lord now down to 4/5 of its health. Kekadot in range. So are James Maxizo and Jovskirt alongside there, who does have his flicker online. All battle spells up, actually.
Got hurt.
Oh, they got it back.
Oh, that's half HP for there.
Yeah. Don't commit this. Kekadot, just give up the sword. It's fine.
Yep.
You can defend.
I mean, Renjay also still has the glorious pathway, so they have a lot of things to consider, and they will just opt to defend.
All of Aurora's turrets still standing. AP.Bren have barely crossed the river.
In 12 minutes 45, it's 236 stacks already onto you. It's not going to be an easy defense for AP.Bren. Again, up against the Sicilian Granger combination, with how much it takes to take down Edward, who just built up the Athena shield as well.
Yeah.
It might be endable for Aurora. AP.Bren just really needs to look into clearing up all the minion waves.
Yep. Here goes the Lord in the middle lane. Glorious pathway already used as well, but there flickers in. They decide to take the battle out of the turret. Shizu though unfortunately falls, and Domenkite now gets a double kill. The Lord is still up as well, and 3 members are down for AP.Bren. This is definitely it for Aurora, for the lights, and they will bring us to a game number 3.
We're going all the way as Aurora even the score 1-1.
After a week where we saw a lot of 2-0 results, it's very refreshing to see the very first day of week number 2 to go both into 3 games. And this time AP.Bren, though, felt the wrath of Aurora, and Aurora, most importantly, did not slip.
Back-to-back bangers here on the opener for week 2. And we're still coming up to our reputation as the strongest league in the world. Week 2 into a new era, and it's still unpredictable. Again, past the first series of the night, I already regret doing my prediction videos. And yes, that's right. Everyone who's commenting there right now, my feelings are hurt, and I should stop doing it. But regardless, I do not care. Now, moving on. MVP performance, I'm going to say it now, by the Last Raider.
Yep.
Or the Hitman. You're right. You know what? Renegade didn't die.
Or you.
So I'm not sure. Oh my God.
I'm not sure anymore.
I'm
Okay,
not
let's
sure.
find out who it is. Ah.
Of course. Why would I ever doubt my heart? The Hitman.
And again, it's
His
with the
heart.
high loss, 1-0-17 this time around. It's a bulletproof Hitman that we got to see. And yeah, I think that's one of the things here that I think countered AP.Bren that they didn't realize so much. A simple revitalize.
Yeah.
Actually just allowing Aurora to survive longer than even AP.Bren really wanted.
And just looking at AP.Bren's lineup, the Glorious Pathway ruins everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you choose a zone to fight in, all that Renegade has to do is Glorious Pathway, and then you have to think twice about, we spent all our ults, is that worth it now?
Yeah, and it's not even a glorious pathway that's so honest. It's like it's in front of you. It's coming from different angles. It's cutting off the entries, or it's really just cutting out the exits as well. And yeah, it really looked like AP.Bren just could not find the right, how do I say this, timings with Der, Keketot, and Jovskirt together. The times that they did find it, we saw that it worked out really well, but kudos as well to Aurora for telling AP.Bren, this isn't going to be easier for you this time around. We're actually going to be aggressive, and you will not be able to reach our Sicilian.
I mean, even in the draft, right? The way they still decided to keep banning out XP lane heroes, even despite the presence of both the Lucas and the Gatot, it kind of tells you that they might really have an idea of how AP.Bren is planning to actually draft their lineup, approach all of this, and this is one of the examples of how the Glorious Pathway just destroys everything.
Yep.
Even with the wall in between, it just makes it so difficult for AP.Bren to go for a full commit.
Great point, Bridget. The whole, we still have to ban XP laners, even going in a second phase, really put AP.Bren and specifically Dare in a weird position where they have to play the Barats, which now almost puts the Barats and the Lucas in dog water territory. They each have a win still, if I'm not mistaken, in MPL Philippines.
Yes.
But they're really bad when the matchup sucks.
Yeah, and it feels like it's when you're left with just having to pick that. If they're your last options, then something has not gone right.
Most likely it's a bad choice.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, to be fair though, like thinking about the EXP leaders that they could have picked, it all would have been tough. Even if you say that they picked up an Edith, like, it's not going to be the easiest Edith game that you'll see, but at the end, outside of the draft, you look at it in execution, and Aurora had a very solid game plan here. Set the tempo, rotate aggressively. Renegade, Kite, and US set the tempo. And again, Edward with his Phobius, Aurora just looks so comfortable playing around that because they can trust Edward to be aggressive at the right time and even set up like a roamer usually would. Because a high loss, he doesn't set up like Glorious Pathway. That's not really set up. Like, you're just bringing down the carpet. The poke, I guess, but Edward and his dark waves were so on point.
And that is what allowed for Yue to have a great game, which, by the way, was not made easy, was not allowed for by AP.Bren, which kudos to them. They really gave Yue one hell of a 13-minute game because he still died twice.
Yep. And still, though, I think it was difficult for James Panks to operate in that entire game, too. I mean, looking at the amount of purple buffs that he was able to secure throughout that entire game, it was only 4 in comparison to 10. And even for their orange buffs, right? You mentioned it. Like, they were really trying to starve out James Panks on a Lucas who kind of could be categorized as one of the most snowball dependent type of junglers.
Yep.
In the very rare times we see him being used as a jungler. I think just twice even.
Yeah.
He wasn't eating good already anyways.
Yeah, that's like a necessity for Lucas in the jungle. Snowball.
Yeah.
But that can you easily do that in the toughest region to play in? No, you cannot.
It's hot in the Philippines.
Yeah.
We don't allow
get
for that.
snow.
We
We don't
don't allow
get
for
snow. Our refrigerators melt very quickly. It's very demanding.
And it comes down to this one more game in the best of 3. Both series of the night going all the way. I think it's safe to say Aurora have found their flow and they learned their lesson the hard way.
Uh-huh.
Now it comes down to this series wide. Do or die, AP.Bren.
The way it's looking right now, it might just be a day full of reverse sweeps if ever Aurora really gets to ride on that momentum, which is likely to happen based on what we're seeing right now. So hopefully for AP.Bren, at least they get some sense of control to the unpredictability that they bring into this match.
Yeah, and I think you can also really see, especially with the last match where AP.Bren is looking at, instead of thinking about what else can Yue pick up, we were thinking the Farsa. They thought, you know what, let's take out the hero that we know do really well. Renegade probably does well with a Jawhead as well. So they took out the Jawhead, which left a very good Sicilian pickup. And that was a stroke of genius, honestly, by the coaching staff for Aurora to call for the Sicilian pick.
Yep, again, this is a hero that rarely sees play, at least in the highest levels of competition, and this was the perfect spot for Sicilian, because again, that dead zone is where AP.Bren will barely get in, which is, again, proof is in the pudding. They found that dead zone and they forced a couple of kills onto Yue. So now, these two teams have that knowledge. What have the coaches prepared for them? What kind of drafts are we going to see? Because Game 1, there were some traces of what happened last week, right? Game 2, a little bit of a adjustment. But Game 3, this is where it all comes down. And if I'm not mistaken, it's AP.Bren choosing the side coming up. We will find out exactly soon what they made the choices for the draft. But real quick, shout outs to Mark Joseph Gonzalez Elio. Let me translate here. James Max is strong, even in his MDL days. This is from the MPL PH official Facebook page.
Yes, that's what Renmar has been saying all the time. It's okay. Maybe week 4,
What? What?
3.
There, okay, I will take that. Because
Week
that's already
3.
next week.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
already
see.
next
I
week.
thought she was gonna have to go through the Masters break and Holy Week, and then just then she would say, "I'm ready." But folks, real quick before the match resumes, we would like to remind everyone that you can still get your tickets for tomorrow. Check out the ticketing website / see if there's more for TNC versus Omega. That's a matchup happening tomorrow. After that, we got Twisted Minds PH versus Falcons PH. And then we're closing off the night with Team Liquid Philippines versus AP.Bren. This very team here that you see in action that's taken Aurora all the way to the game 3, the pinnacle of this series. So, again, either way, I think after this match, regardless of who wins, more people might get tickets to the AP.Bren match tomorrow.
Yeah. If we saw 6 games today, tomorrow, looking at the matchups that are about to happen,
Might get 9.
might get 9.
Are you catching tomorrow?
I'm not. I'll be watching. Are you?
No, I'm off tomorrow.
Why? You've been laughing at me all day. Can I just share a story with y'all? In the rehearsal, she made fun of my bald head. She laughed so I've never heard you laugh like that ever.
No.
You just went. It was what they call in the literary world a guffaw. You guffawed at my bald head.
I didn't. It was at your joke about your.
Now you say something with conviction. Okay.
Yeah, because it was a right. I laughed at his joke about his bald head, but not a. But not.
You are digging a hole right now.
I can
girl.
only take you at your word, and if your words end with a question mark, then I don't know what to stand for anymore. I don't know what to believe. Bring it out. Just like how I don't know what AP.Bren has up their sleeves here for game number 3, because we know what Aurora is capable of. We're also aware of what they can't do, which is plain Malaysia. But regardless, they're here and they played clean game 2. Game 3, I'd reckon, regardless of what the choice is for side for AP.Bren, I think Aurora just has a cleaner ramp up to victory here.
I just hope for AP.Bren at least that James Panks gets much comfortable jungler hero. I mean, they were choked out early on, but then I think they had the option to.
You know the sad thing about the last one though was that they choked themselves. They were just like, what do we pick in the jungle? Lucas. I'm okay with this. Where it eventually just gets crumbled. I guess you could also lean in on the fact that maybe it's because it didn't have the right EXP partner with it. Maybe RORA were looking at the glue or AP.Bren were looking at the glue or the CC, but RORA banned it out. TLDR, hopefully we don't see a Lucas jungle ever again.
It's a joke, by the way, in case the 5 Roras were mad at me in the comment section saying, why would you say that about Aurora? They've proven themselves, folks. They beat Onic last week. They got to the grand finals of the hardest league in the country, and they're here at the cusp of victory against AP.Bren. They're on the red side. That means AP.Bren chose blue. Game number 3. Eve and Phovius banned out by Coach Macbeth. MTB banning out Fanny. Up next will be a Jushin or Matilda.
Yeah. Earlier it was AP.Bren that actually banned out the Matilda on the red side. And so far, the Phovius, good respect banned there onto Edward. And I think that's one thing that AP.Bren are going to be looking at in the back of their minds, which is, let's not forget what Edward might actually end up with in the EXP lane.
Yeah. I'm also looking at the Harith possibility here for AP.Bren in terms of like their priority first pick, unless it gets banned out here by Aurora, since there is still a chance, unless they want to like deny one of the jungler or gold trades. The Louis is still available though. Oh, so
Same banning pattern as game number 1, and in game number 1, AP.Bren prioritized the Suyo. Will they change things around and surprise and suddenly pick up the joy? They will not.
To be fair, they were winning a majority of the early game in game 1.
Yes.
So this makes sense. They can just run back. So this can be Joy X. Again, Joy Granger?
Gatot instead of the choke.
Oh, finally they make sense of the whole opportunity cost. Katot Granger, sense of the whole opportunity cost. Katot Granger, there you go. Because you don't need to pick the Joy. Why now they change it up?
No need to rush it. They take away a pick from Kekadot, and now we're going to have to see Kekadot with something else. Will he just end up... Oh, they have to be careful with a double revitalize for Aurora.
With Hylos.
Yeah, with a Hylos Gatot or... We don't see Hilda's pack revitalize that much anymore.
Harith X.
Yeah.
I mean, they can save pick it up for later. There's still the Chig or the Jawhead, but they they pick it up for the first phase.
Just running it back.
Yeah, it's not the same order, but so far the same picks. In game number 1, AP.Bren picked up a Badang in the first phase.
Yeah. So
Now Joy, right?
they can still pick it later if ever, because Joy is very much likely to be picked by Aurora here at this point, unless
98%, 99% chance this is Joy. Because if not, best believe Coach Pakbet can't press Joy ban enough, fast enough. Like just.
what are they going to? What is it? They're taking their time.
Whoa!
Ooh, they go for a swerve. Okay, they go for aggro close range poke at the center of the map. That's a Gata roam.
For
I would
sure.
say 97%.
There's nothing to steal yet, though.
Yeah. I think Aurora already thinking ahead and looking at potentially a... That's usually a block on a Lucas, a threat to not pick up a Farsa or a Vexana. Usually when you see a Valentina get picked in the slot. So that's something Aurora's already keeping in mind.
Do Aurora start banning out explainers?
No, they have to against there.
CC still there. The Badang.
Oh, wow!
Okay.
Okay, but they ban out the Farsa even though they have the Valentina in their hand. So there has a lot of options. It's the CC Badang still available for there in the XP lane if ever they want to go for a similar route to game number 1.
How often does this happen, wherein you pick a Valentina blind with no ults to steal just yet? How often does that pay off?
I mean, the Fire Mist is still there too, but I think they want to pair up Burst mid laner again with the Jawhead lineup that they're showing us so far, right?
Yeah, 100% Aurora already thinking ahead of what AP.Bren are going to pair it up. So we considered an alpha for Aurora and AP.Bren take it away. So if they commit an alpha Joy, there's one more jungler that deals a lot of burst damage. The Nolan will also still be available for them. So if it ends up becoming another Jawhead Vexana combo, actually the Valentina stealing away the Eternal Guard, or maybe even the Unstoppable Force just to be able to dive, although that would be way too risky considering there's a Harith there. I'm seeing it now. I like the Valentina getting picked suddenly. It's a very surprising pick now. AP.Bren are overthinking, I feel like.
It's kind of limiting.
But we don't know. Again, conceptually, there's a logic to it. There's a rationale, but until we get into the game and see the payoff, then we'll know. Hilda ban for Aurora, so there's 1 XP.
Oh,
Taken out.
what could they be planning to pick up in the jungle?
Hayabusa still out there.
Possibly an assassin given the Hilda ban.
Haya Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan
But-
earlier.
Joy's still open, by the way, just in case.
Yeah, that too.
AP.Bren's not falling for the trap.
So, well, I mean, Aurora, they can.
Aurora's gonna pick up the CC
Yeah.
probably at 4th pick.
So they'll get an XP lane, but that's the Badang still available for there, just in case. But I think they're pretty much okay with that.
There.
Okay. They still ban it out.
Nolan's available.
The CC you mentioned, or
Yeah. CC Nolan, I feel like the last 2 picks for Aurora. Although they can consider need a bit more magic damage if it's not. They can go Edith in the EXP.
Yeah, would that be enough? That's one of
Yeah.
Edward's signature picks since time immemorial.
they go for Nolan first. Okay, they're saving Edward for last. For AP.Bren, what mid laner are they picking up? Is it still the Vexana?
And is there at least 1 ult for you with the steal?
Yeah, or the Pyramid so that he gets the realm of his own?
I'd like to see them pick up the Vexana. Yeah, they're giving up an ultimate, but at this point, they might need to.
It's the right choice.
It's the right choice.
It's not what you want, it's what you need.
Yeah. Then for the EXP lane, you also block a potential Edith pickup surprise for Dare. They already have Burst in chunks. Yeah, I think they might just end up picking up a... right? Oh, no, CC.
Alright.
Of course, right, yeah.
Find a way.
So that's
Ask for more.
a at least a favorable matchup for them in the EXP. Regardless of what might come out from Edward here, but then there's a lot that can. The Hylos is still there. The Edith you mentioned. Or the Badam.
Yeah, that's surprising. With
I'm the priestess of
There's
fire
Edith.
and lightning.
Because there was
the
Edith
hunter of
eventually.
all the evil gods.
So just one ult for Yue.
Yeah.
It's go big or go home.
Eternal Guard.
Interestingly enough, that's the lineup of AP.Bren. It's go big or go home. Get your pick-offs around the Jawhead in the Vexana combo, or nothing at all. While the Edith means that Aurora has more than one tool for a longer engaged team fight. Again, that's always one of the strengths of an Edith. If you don't handle her well, surprise, your team fight will get turned around in front of you because of a full stack Edith Primal Wrath.
And we have seen the last Raider Demon Kite do amazing things with a Nolan. And with the help of the MVP of Game 2, Renaja and the Gatot, we can expect great things. So, one more look at these drafts and, of course, the index. Aurora's down again. Once more, is this the numbers on the hierarchy just pumping everything up?
I feel like it, yeah.
Although,
They do also have the CC with them.
yeah, but like, if it were just sustained and all that,
Yeah.
you'd give it to Aurora,
Welcome to
but like
Mobile
the
Legends.
to mid damage department would probably favor AP.Bren.
It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. One last game for the night. Who's going to take the dub? A reverse sweep by Aurora, or will AP.Bren finally reintroduce themselves in the big leagues?
Oh, Chop Skirt poke down to half HP, and as we're seeing it right now, Keketot's just helping James Pax really farm fast.
There's a lot of crowd control also though on the side of AP.Bren, but in terms of their damage, it's very dependent on the Vexana and the Harith together. But if they can change their crowd controls at the right time, it might actually be very, very annoying for Demon Kite and Renergy to deal with. But again, just looking at the fact that there's a Granger and an Edith on the other side for Aurora, it's tough for AP.Bren. This is a more demanding lineup for them to pull off.
Yep, for AP.Bren, it's easy it's easy for Aurora to build defensive items. Like,
Yeah.
mainly magic to start. And then you start dealing with the problem of physical when AP brings the farm in. So, seeing here, Kekedot waiting to catch Edward off guard, and even James Pax comes to the party. Oh, I wonder if Abu Jingjing knows.
You don't have any information onto Kekedot and James Pax. They only saw Chop Skirt in the middle lane, so fortunately for Aurora, there aren't any pickoffs just yet. Both teams are just so careful. Oh no, wait, I take it back. That was a close call for Edward. He nearly got taken out, and that's the revitalize.
All right, no, this makes sense. He needs to get level 4, get some wave in mid, and then hits the regenerate, so he'll be part of the turtle thing. Oh, this while, oh lord, look at this. The last Raider doing Raider things. He's gonna steal the orange.
Yep, that's an orange buff gone, and I think that's Aurora also showing that they're confident that they're going to take this turtle. Good thing Shizo's going to be checking the orange buff, and they'll get the read.
Oh, does he get it?
Yeah, I think he did secure, and then the turtle will eventually still go to AP.Bren. So yeah, Demon Kite's early rotation and anticipation of the turtle going sideways for them scored them at least something on the map.
Yeah, and you see Aurora actually really respecting what we talked about, the sheer crowd control burst damage combo of AP.Bren at this point in the game, that they're willing to give up the first turtle, even though they have an Edith who was level 4 in time at that scenario. They're playing it safe, and it might be just like in game number 1, waiting for a turtle 2, turtle 3 scenario, where they pop off and just take over the game.
Yep, they've been doing this for multiple times now. It's just that they're waiting for that turtle wherein they're already equipped to fight back or really commit to an engage against AP.Bren. But look at Kekedot so far. He's been very patient. I haven't seen much ejector plays coming in from him just yet. Seems like they don't get to find the right targets.
Patience is a virtue for Kekedot. Something to note, folks, in case you're wondering, that is the new MPL skin on Edith. Just came out, so grab it now in case you're wondering, where's this purple skin from? That's what Edward's rocking. About 45 seconds until the turtle spawns. Second one of the game, lower quarter. Demon Kite just farming around. It's happening, Mom. It's happening. It's a Filipino game. No kills just yet.
Yeah. Let's see if eventually we'll find K-Dot drop a Grammy Award-winning set and pickoff. But even so, Aurora has the right response again with the Eternal Guard on the hands of Yue. There will always be a counter response to whoever K-Dot can initially burst off. You guys are also going to get knocked up by a Valentina Eternal Guard. So again, this is what we talked about with AP.Bren. Timing, they really have to make sure that they're keeping things in check, remembering what RORA can toss out in the counter, and not just full commit dive on everyone because that might be costly.
Yep, and this pathing again kind of tells you that they are willing to let AP.Bren start the turtle. Demon Kite has just taken his orange buff, but they nonetheless are positioned. Renegade and Edward, they're here, they're ready.
It's looking like a counter. Take it, the flicker by Kekedot.
They go for Edward, but there is the AOG from Renegade, and now Kekedot can no longer go back to his teammates. He will be the first to get taken out. Shizudo, there is the response from him. He can take the Salmon forward, but Kite with the free hits, just tossing those bullets, and there might be next the flicker from Yue as well, dodging the curse blast, and they will still be the ones to win the fight. Gets outplayed by James Banks.
All this while, Demon Kite was going for the turtle, so he chose his battle. He says, brother, you got this. I'm going to take the objective. Was that me or was that a stray bullet by Dominicite missing James Banks by an inch?
Yeah, just like one single one from the Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And that could have taken down James Banks already. But good committal there actually by James Banks to acknowledge that, you know, there's a chance I can win this. I'm not going to back off. I'll just fight.
Yeah, talk about a dead zone on the Granger. Just like the Sicilian, when you're that close to a long-range hero like this, you usually have them cornered, usually checkmate. So that's that sequence right there. And despite the turnaround by Aurora, small lead, very small win.
Oh, Dominicite, could he be sensing this? Kekedon can actually look for him right here. There goes the Unstoppable Force and the Ejector, but gets taunted by Renegade. Still gets to cast the Ejector, but only towards his teammates. There's the AOG, also landed towards Shizu, and right under the turret, he won't be able to sustain the damage of 5.
The Silent Kid will not survive to save his tier 1, but all this while, look at there. He's up there, pushing, takes tier 1 up top.
I was surprised that Shizu actually committed to trying to get the minion waves for defending that. The moment he saw that there were already 5 members of Aurora spotted out by Kekedot, he should have already been on the way back to base. He shouldn't have stuck there any longer. And he gets picked off as well. So that's a 1-2-2 start for the Harith. Not a good one for AP.Bren. Again, the items though, it is a 1,000 gold lead, favoring Dominicite, already up to a very quick Sky Piercer. We'll be going to the, if I'm not mistaken, Malefic Roar for the 3rd, while the Harith is still on the way to the Feather of Heaven, 2nd item.
Oh, this is a fight waiting to happen. Renegade and Demon Kite engaging with Kekedot. There, pushing him back. A silver lining for AP.Bren. Mr. Panks is actually up from Demon Kite by about 200 gold. Like, he's racing him. He got his 2nd item first. So, if the farm continues this way, then maybe AP.Bren can set something up post-turtle.
Yep. There doesn't have his curtain call just yet though. So Aurora Gaming might be the ones to start this objective. We said it again. So this might be the timings for them to finally decide to engage. But there goes Kekedot. He won't be able to set up anything for his team because he gets taken out first. Yue, there's trying to look out for him. But it's James Banks that matters for Aurora. He gets taken down next. There, he will be receiving the Death Sonatas. And that's a flicker from Dominicite too, just making sure that he goes down. But he's been dancing around everyone. But that last bullet still connects. And he gets taken out.
What dead zone? Dominicite flickers forward just to confirm the kill onto there in the face of a 2-man gank squad. AP.Bren did not see that coming.
He sidestepped the Deathly Grasp too. Dare was pulling Dominicite into the range of Choveskird's Vixana. But just when I thought Dominicite would get caught out by a Deathly Grasp, he went back a little bit. It was a fade away Death Sonata at that, and he got the kill still onto Dare.
I think they call that an FDS in the business. About a minute until the Lord spawns lower quarter. AP.Bren catching their breath. James Banks now has his first death of game 3. 8.5 minutes in. This is as macro tight as it gets.
Yeah.
And so far, Aurora are going through the cracks of where AP.Bren will allow for them to. And so far, Demon Kite unscathed.
Yeah, how does Kekedon position himself and control the brushes though? It seems like every single time since Aurora right now, they get to group up a lot more. There's just so many ways for them to check the areas, the brushes around. It's those consistent death sonatas coming in from Doming Kaitu, which ensures that they're in a safe spot.
That's why it costs Kekedon so much, either a conceal or a flicker, to even get anything started. Currently, Doming Kite sitting at 420 stacks. He's firing up.
Though we got to see there in the previous big team fight just how much a gotcha entry and an Edith ultimate will mess up an AP.Bren team fight. Like, it's so demanding for them to fight under those ultimates. The entry of Renegade will mess up their formation, forcing them to re-scramble mid-team fight while they're avoiding certain things. And Edward's Primal Wrath will make them think twice about using all their abilities at once.
He does have one on lock. Looking for it.
A successful Terrify and Flicker and Shatter coming in from Edward 2 to take down Kekedot. But Renegade, will he survive this? Blade Surge coming in from James Pax, but there's the Revitalize to help him survive.
Mr. Pax was an inch away from a charge sever, so he couldn't get the double. Aurora lived to tell the story. They back off. Lord gets reset.
Revitalized just on time, and they were running at the right time as well.
In the right direction.
In the right direction. She's a James Pax could have gotten two, maybe even converted it into a third, maybe even threatened to show Aurora, hey, come closer, we're already going for the Lord. But now Aurora's still in control.
Oh my. AP.Bren also trying to hold this mid lane, but it feels like it doesn't matter to Aurora MLBB anymore.
Nice chubby wave left up in the long lane. Passive push for Aurora, and we're back to the Lord dance. Amazing work for Aurora again. Season 8 champions Blacklist, Season 9 champions RSG. The remnants of those two teams are in Aurora. They're masters of the Lord dance.
Oh wait, but Kekedot and Shizu, who could they be after? There's the Conceal and the Flicker forced out from Yue.
Great use of space by Yue. Baiting himself, using his body as quarry for AP.Bren. And now the Lord dance continues.
Kekedot goes in and there's a Terrify, but Edward won't be able to use the Primal Wrath. Shizu dancing there. Kekedot will be the trailer. There on the back lines won't survive. Two will fall from Aurora, but there and Kekedot are gone from AP.Bren.
2 for 2, lane for lane. But Aurora continue the onslaught, taking that mid lane.
Oh, Demon Kite!
What?
Going for James Pax in a successful solo kill.
The anime fight, the man with a million moves, fall at the hands of the last raider.
And Aurora will be able to get what might just be the last Lord of the game, with a game-winning push potentially on the way already. The biggest problem, every time Kekedot sets, Renegade always jumps in with the Avatar of Guardian, and that provides so much space for Doming Kite and Yue.
The Hitman turned into the Hit Me Man. Great use of the kit, of the revitalized clutch for the rest of Aurora. They're looking at a 7,000 gold lead. A Lord pushing up top, and a bare base for AP.Bren. Just inhibitors left after the next minute.
They could potentially be a bit more confident to take on the next fight. Shizu has just picked up his Holy Crystal too, but they have to take into consideration the Lord. It's also marching up top.
All right, if game 1 happens again, that same situation, then that'll leave a very sour taste in Aurora. And the rest of the Aurora's watching, because you already learned from that lesson. So
Yeah.
they got to take this slow, got to be patient with the approach.
Difference is you don't have a setup like a Badak
Oh!
there.
Oh, but that's
Renegade?
the Terrify. Used right onto Renegade, but
He's just zoning. He's just
yeah,
zoning.
he was just zoning. That was his main purpose, taking down an inhibitor turret away from AP.Bren. So this is indeed Aurora being more disciplined in approach in maintaining this lead.
Aurora using that Lord to its full advantage, as conservatively as you can get. There's another one spawning in a minute and a half. Massive gold difference across the board.
James Pax going for Queen Swings. Oh, Edward!
Oh, wait, he gets
Wow.
to go in, uses a Cyclone Eye to get there. Dare! No, speaking of Dare, there's the vengeance coming in from him. The let him survive. Beautiful eternal guard coming in from Chomsker, but Dominkite still makes it out alive. Edward 2 with the flicker, and none from Aurora will die.
Luckily, he had the energy to stay alive and dash out, spell vamp his way to staying alive.
Dominkite, with the energy, was able to provide a gap between himself and danger. And now Aurora are knocking on the doors of AP.Bren saying, I am the danger.
Derek Kekedot still have 5 seconds before they get to respond. And the rest of the members of AP.Bren will handle the waves.
And the danger now retreats. The danger takes to the rest of the map, keeps it red, freezes the waves, sets up for this next Lord spawning in the upper quarter. Look at the damage that the former Doming, now Dominkite, is dealing. Almost twice as much as Shizo, 1.7 times?
Yeah, that's rough, very rough for AP.Bren. Again, it always seems like the Aurora is very ready for Shizo. The moment they see the Zaman Force laid down by the Harris,
they just back off.
Yeah, they just back off. They recalibrate. They don't fully retreat away from the fight, but they're just trying to stay away from the dashes, making Shizo think, am I actually going to dash into this? It'll be risky if I do. And Shizu just ends up being too far away from Aurora to actually hurt them. Now look at the placement of Shizo and Kekedot here. This is going to be an all-in, one last chance play.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, Dominkite also has the Winter Crown. So, could they be looking for an opening or a play here?
Oh, there is a little too deep. RORA spots him, forces him out of there, lets go of that river brush control, and all this while Kekedot and Shizu still keeping themselves scarce. Now the jig is up, and Aurora are blitzing the Lord.
Oh no, they find Shizu, they get the information, and no contest whatsoever will happen for AP.Bren.
Tranquilo, my friend. They used patience and calm to get that Lord for free.
Yeah, with a chubby wave down at the bottom lane, that did force James Banks to respond, and Aurora, the moment they saw the jungler of AP.Bren down at the bottom lane clearing waves, they just went ahead for it. Divine Delay have already built up there for the Harith. So, again, the question isn't the damage, but can he actually get in the right spot to deal the damage? Because Dominkite has been making himself scarce. He's been utilizing the flicker very well to disengage away from Zaman Force and away from Shizo when he shows up in front of him.
Not to mention the real threat. Unless Dare finds him first, Demon Kite can hunt down Shizo. It doesn't work the same way anymore. It's not the same dynamics as the Choi hunting you down as a Harith. It's now on Nolan.
And now with 3 waves coming in together all at the same time, will Aurora find a way to end this? Renegade going in with the AOG, but they will be focusing on clearing out the Lord first. That's the Vengeance Force out from there, and the Eternal Guard used by Aurora. Kekedot is down, and now Renegade's Immortality pop, but UM flickering in alongside Dominkite. This might just be a wipeout right before the Northern Lights successfully complete the reverse sweep.
The win streak continues for Aurora Gaming as they take Game 3 and the series 2-1.
We could have ended the day with another Savage on a Granger, but Edward got the last hit. Dominkite walks away with the Maniac, but at the end, Aurora walks away with the win.
It's going to be a long talk between Dominkite and Edward. It's going to be a weird ride all the way back to the boot camp. But nonetheless, congratulations to Aurora Gaming. AP.Bren, though, they're cooking.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see how they will be improving this idea of their identity, which they introduced to us in this series.
Oh, yes.
It might just need a little bit of refining here and there, but it's a unique take on the current meta.
All right, let's count our blessings as AP.Bren fans, whether it be from their run in the MDL or their current identity now in MPL. I think, yeah, it's true that they rely a lot on Shizo and James Banks. But I guess as they take their bow now off the stage, we have unlocked stars. Again, the MVP there. There's a reason why he's still in the league.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that AP.Bren showed up more in this series. They felt like a non-factor, dare I say, a non-team against TNC Pro Team. But now against Aurora, instead of what I thought would take maybe another week of them trying to figure things out, I think you said the right word there, Brigida. Refinement. Now it's not a desperate claw of discovering who you are. It's just refining who you already are.
And mind you, Aurora's higher up on the food chain, and
Yeah.
AP.Bren performed like this.
Yes. It's not the last time we're seeing AP.Bren today. Tomorrow they have another series coming up too. But for now, again, celebrate and count our blessings.
Let's throw over onto the stage. Our hosts Hans and Odin are with Aurora Gaming.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, Aurora Gaming! What a performance, getting and staying undefeated with a 3-0 record. Right?
And reverse sweep ang ginawa nila. Hans, I wanna ask, Dom and Kite, maniac sa inyong last game for today. Palakpakan naman natin si Dom and Kite. Savage dapat! Nakuha ni Edward yung isa. Ano masasabi mo doon?
Wala. Okay lang yun.
Okay lang, nice try lang. Doming kahit asintado lahat ng paggamit mo doon sa Granger. And tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagkapanalo nyo bilang Kite Brothers. Pinag-uusapan natin kanina kung may makakapigil pa ba sa duo nyo. Sa tingin mo ano yun?
Makapigil sa amin, wala ata siguro.
Wala ata. Parang wala talaga, no? And since alam namin na nandyan ang confidence nyo dahil nga win streak kayo, after season 14, M6, SPS, anong ginawa nyo before coming into the season para maging ganito kayo kalakas?
Siguro lahat ng pagkatalo namin nung M6 tsaka nung SPS, tinama po namin siya nung pagkabalik po ng bootcamp. Yun. Kaya gigil din po kayong bumawi this season.
And you definitely came back stronger nang tumungtong kayo dito sa season 15.
Now, speaking of that last season, Doming, maybe you can toss it over to Rene J because I would like to ask you this question as well. Kasi season 14, Aurora also started off 3-0. Maganda ang inyong ipinakita in like the first 2 weeks ng season 14. Season 15, you're planning to do the same. This is your last match of the week, correct? So, with that being said, how different is this season compared to season 14? Ano bang pinagkaiba ng 3-0 na to compared sa 3-0 from last season?
Tingin ko po yung this season mas solid yung chemistry ng team. Tapos mas prepared yung team kasi dahil sa mga talo rin siguro namin. Kaya tingin ko mas maganda yung may mapakita namin this season kaysa sa last season namin.
And the familiar foe as well, because next week, kontra or susubukang mapigilan yung winning streak nyo, you're gonna be going up against Omega. Ang mga kalaban mo is Chaknu once again. I wanna know kung ano bang mensahe mo kay Chaknu, especially kung sakali nanonood siya ngayon.
Sa ngayon, good luck muna kay Chakno kasi nagbabawi rin sila. Kaya may ang Chakmamba malakas.
Wow, very mabait and chini-cheer on nila ang kanilang mga kalaban.
So motivators. Now, I just want to ask a bit more questions. This time para kay Yue. Kasi katabi ko naman na si Yue.
Nasaan ba yung mga fans ni Yue dyan?
Okay, asan? Parang ganito lagi, no?
Kakaiba, pag siya yung
take your
nagsasalita.
time. Okay.
Wala ka pang ginagawa.
Sanay ka na ba sa ganito everyday? Sanay na. Now, I wanna know, kasi parang may nabanggit sa akin na I'd just like to confirm, naging magkakampi daw kayo ni James Punks before?
Naging magkakampi kami nung sa inter-barangay namin.
Ooh.
So, ever since inter-barangay, now you're competing against him in MPL. Kamusta naman yung naging performance niya kasama yung AP.Bren?
Para sa akin, maganda yung naging performance sila eh. Kumbaga, siguro mas naging better team lang kami today.
And finally have it. Just a really good performance. Now, I want you to at least give commendations and pasasalamat para sa lahat ng mga nagpunta dito at sumuporta sa inyo ngayon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Yue, time's up. Go.
Thank you po sa mga nanonood ngayon tsaka pumunta sa venue. At nanood din po sa watch party namin sa KMC tsaka available na po yung jersey namin.
Wow, yun.
There we finally have it. Once again, your winners, Aurora Gaming! Gentlemen, you may now take your walk of victory. Grabe no, may coaching ba talaga? And once again, With all of you guys right there, you may now take your bow. The lights are shining brighter than ever, just like last season, 3-0 at tuloy-tuloy ang arangkada ng Aurora.
Still undefeated sa week 2 ng ating MPL Season 15.
I'm just wondering kung ano ba ang masasabi ng ating mga casters with this amazing series once more. Kaya naman casters, back to you.
Two things about that post-match interview. Blonde Renegade hits diff, and apparently no one could stop him. At least in their opinion, like who could stop you? Seems like there's nobody left.
I like it. I'm liking how this is a really confident version of Aurora we're seeing. It seems like they really learned a lot throughout the course of the past 2 months of being in international tournaments here and there.
Especially Dominic. Something has crept up onto the soul of Dominic. Of course, remember what happened in M6? If you know, you know. Now he's just been stellar with the Granger all season 15 long so far. It's been one of his best picks in the series the 3 series that we've seen the play in. And then this one, he went 13, 1, and 4. And it was him being almost untouchable for the side of AP.Bren that made it so difficult for them to actually find a good tempo in a team fight because they couldn't reach Dominic.
Shades of the best of them. I'm thinking Kelra. I'm thinking Innocent. I'm thinking Super Marco. When I see Dominic flicker forward, embrace the Granger's dead zone, and then eventually get this MVP performance. Except for this clip.
Except for that.
Why would you? The timing. But yeah, regardless, he's still an MVP. They still won.
Yeah, that was his only death in this game. After that, he didn't die anymore.
Yeah.
He's just human.
It was a really confident and aggressive play from Dominic during the entire time of them being not threatened by even their, similar to what we see. That was great timing this time around for the highlights. It's like they always try to find a way to go after him, but he just immediately repositions himself and just keeps throwing bullets.
Yeah, and again, just looking back at the highlights, the link up between Edward and Renegade was just so annoying for AP.Bren. Hey, we got a pick off. Oh, there's an Avatar of Guardian on us. Let's reposition. Oh, us trying to avoid the Avatar of Guardian meant that we walked into other things we were actually also supposed to be avoiding.
So there were like, sometimes it wasn't really the setup which Renegade was looking after. That was the almost savage, as you would say. I don't know what they're gonna talk about later on.
In memory, I only know of like a handful of moments where clearly someone stole a kill away from a savage.
The one of the most recent ones being the Super Prince one.
Yeah, that one for sure. This one over here.
Felt like Edward was so locked in, he wasn't even thinking about that. I'm sure he didn't even realize that he was already up to a maniac. Dominic was, and he was just looking. Oh, this guy Winter Crown. When he's out of Winter Crown, I will kill him.
I mean, logically speaking, as the marksman, you should be aiming for the base.
Yeah.
You gotta win as fast as possible.
Yeah.
No, this was a 17-minute game. In my head, definitely felt a little longer. But look at that. Our MVP scoring doubles on the big 4. He's farmed up. He's dealt damage. And his mid lane duo is sheeshing about it. I can assume that's a sheesh, right? Like, you don't see his arm.
Unless he's just really biting his lip. Well, for some reason, his left hand is out there
Slightly.
That's the face of a guy who picks Valentina first face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They get unpunished, by the way.
Again, I love that pick so much. I was overthinking it, but I'm pretty sure AP.Bren were also overthinking it too. They was like, guys, how do we do this? There was a Valentina. I was like, oh, damn it. And then eventually he just came back to bite them. And it's cool because you saw the rich guy, highest damage dealt is the gold laner. Makes sense. Highest damage received was the roamer, and most assists was the mid laner. So you could really see just how systematized Aurora here, Aurora was in that game.
Yeah, it felt like it affected their succeeding pick so much. Hopefully in the coming matches, that doesn't happen again. They'd be a little more composed, or if I would say confident and
Conviction.
convicted, like unlike me. In
No,
terms of
they gotta make like you. I think, no, that's perfect. Like, I feel like you and AP.Bren are gonna go on the same journey this season. You know, of like conviction and being able to say, this is it.
right.
Yeah. So far, they have some growth, some development going into week 2. They got a big match tomorrow. They're facing off the next big dog of the league, currently in season 15, Liquid Philippines. So,
It's gonna be tough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. If today was any evidence, maybe they'll score one, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it is, right? You take it a game at a time, and against Aurora, they scored a game. Who knows what they'll do against Liquid tomorrow?
Yep.
And I wonder if we'll see Shizo in a different pick because he played an entire series as Harith.
Harith.
Yeah.
He's Harith man.
And he'll be up against Oheb, who's been on fire with the Granger as well.
Oh
And
yeah.
Moskov.
Come on.
And Harith.
Yeah.
It's like he's been up against really stellar performing gold laners from, I think you would consider Kuzen to be really good performing gold laner back in week 1 to now facing up against the next standard, and tomorrow Filipino sniper. It's a tough.
One day, the silent kid is going to be more than just a silent kid. Who knows? He's young, and this is their debut season in the league. It's just week 2, but what a day it was. We witnessed Falcons take flight, take down the defending champions, and we witnessed Aurora just get this close to losing.
It's close. It was very close. But I was reading the comments earlier, and there's a lot of more people vocal about how they appreciate AP.Bren. I think AP.Bren got some new fans here online and across the world. So I'm excited to see them continue shining, hopefully, maybe.
I love it. It's a new era, definitely, because as far as we remember, Bren Sports, AP.Bren, they've been here since day 1. Since the dawn of our league, the genesis of MPL PH, and for the first time in a while, as far as I can remember, since season 9, season 10, it's a new face. It's a new era for AP.Bren, for this franchise. So with that, again, there's a week, months-long journey for them left here in season 15. That does update our Infinite standings. So far, Aurora are now top dog.
Oh, with 3 consecutive wins, with just letting go of 2 games. It's an impressive performance from Aurora heading into this season. A team which I feel a lot were probably doubting in such a way that they haven't been able to go as far in the previous international tournaments which we've seen them. But now that they're back, it seems like they just show us the meaning, the definition of learning and growing, and the process that it takes for them to get this far.
As well, a lot of y'all might be looking at this and watching, what's a fancy club? And I'll tell you what it is. It's a tournament amongst fans held here in the MPL arena, just right outside before the show starts. And they use Infinix phones, the official tournament phone of MPL Philippines. And so far, bees are on top.
Yeah, the Bees and the Green Falcons, too. Kabarangay popping off, and the Cavalry struggling, though, so far this season in the Fancy Club. And again, that's one of the really great things you get to experience when you watch on-site here. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, they're even... No. You have to be able to watch if you want to join Fancy Club. You can't just join Fancy Club and do. So it's a double deal. You get to fight for your favorite team and also watch.
What is this?
All right, yeah, we got all game 3s because of you. The daughter of all series.
But the mother
is there too, so
there
it makes sense.
That's true. Oh my God, it's a Chantal Brigida day.
Luckily,
that's why.
It's not a Saturday.
Oh, I won't be there tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I don't know about Chantal's schedule, but that makes sense now. Looking at it, I should take note of this when I make my prediction videos. I did not do well today. I scored 1 point. I got the winner of this series right, but the score wrong.
Wait, did you go for sweeps for both series today?
I think I did.
Oh.
Yeah,
if I made prediction videos or prediction polls, I would have predicted the same way as Leo, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, with that said, on behalf of Renmar Santa Cruz and Brigida, my name is Leo at your service. It's been an honor. Let's throw over to the stage.
Nice, man. Ingat lang. Ingat, alalay. Ay, alalay lang, boy. Boy kami. Boy. Ingat sa base, boy. Patay ito. Basta akin. Patay. Legit.
Okay.
We'll do it again. That wasn't the sign-off. I thought it was, but that was the mic check. The last few moments of Aurora's winning moment in that series.
At least we heard the sorry.
Yeah.
Edward from Reddit. Or
No, they said sayang. Sayang is it's not for the Indonesian fans. Not my love. But it's like they wasted the savage opportunity for Dom and Kite.
Yeah.
And then even Edward, you saw there, he was like, huh?
Yep. It's more of what a waste.
Yeah.
Now for reals this time on behalf of Renmar Santa Cruz and Breda, my name is Leo at your service. It's been an honor. Good night. We'll go to the stage.
Unang araw pa lamang